So welcome back. We're having a lot of fun here at manifestingyourdreams.net. We're here with Jeff Ashby and Marvin Higbee, who are visiting from Utah. And when I had to do this program this week about autosuggestion, right? I said, wow, this is one of my favorite chapters in the whole book. It's actually one of the shortest chapters in the whole book, but one of the most powerful, right? And I couldn't help but remember when I met Jeff and Helen, I received a call from a friend to go to Salt Lake City, actually. And I couldn't make the trip. And I said, I have to be there. I really have to be there. How can I make it happen? And to make a long story short, somehow somebody introduced me to Jeff and Helen. And they said, you know what? If you're able to get to St. George, you can drive with us all the way there, right? And at that moment, my car wasn't working. It was a very complicated situation in my life. And that's one of the times that we actually step up, right? And we do things because we want to change our situation in our most desperate times, right? So I was able to get to St. George. And when I visited Jeff's home at the time, it was like a palace. It was totally incredible. I remember walking into that house and seeing the staircases going up, round up, and I said, oh my God, this place is incredible. And we started talking and we immediately connected, and he showed me, you know about a dream board, right? And we talk about that in a second, but he showed me one full wall of his home with the visualization through panels about the ideal day. I was blown away. I don't know anybody else in the whole world that have done something like that. So if there's one person I'd like to learn more about using autosuggestion to manifest the dreams is Jeff. So I know you have a lot to share with us. Go ahead. I'm excited that you're here today.
Well, thank you, Pablo. I appreciate once again this serendipity of this all coming together. It's just amazing, and then to have Marvin along with me today. I mean, we're
very grateful. You should be very grateful. Yes, we are.
We're going to hear some more from Marvin, and it's absolutely amazing how our lives have come together. I got to back up just a little bit, though.
Absolutely.
That big house that you came to, 7,400 square feet, 3.5 acres. You know, like you said, the big Gone with the Wind staircase.
Yeah.
Well, that all came about as part of Helen and I's, coming together. I mean, she had been homeless. I mean, literally 6 years she had been divorced, been single, wasn't ever going to get married again, and was living out of her car, staying with her kids and with her mom and with people in California and all over. She was literally homeless. And I came in as part of a workshop. A good friend of mine, actually, it was a cold call in network marketing, somebody's chicken list.
Okay.
I called somebody's chicken, and says, hi, you don't know me. My name is Jeff Ashby, but we have a mutual friend. And that phone conversation, pitching him on network marketing, ultimately got me a couple weeks later into where I was doing a workshop on vision boards. And guess who was there in my class?
Helen. Now you're beautiful white Helen. Oh my God.
So just what you put into your head makes such a difference, and it's who comes into your life. And I can't imagine, the 8 years that Helen and I spent together, us not.
Amazing couple. I mean, this is like an amazing power couple. Absolutely.
So I mentioned in the previous segment my background with recycling. So I had access to every magazine that you can imagine.
Oh, okay.
So I would come into a workshop and I would provide cases of different types of magazines. I'd go sort through the pile, and I'd pick out all the best magazines, and then we'd come in and we'd teach a big class. Well, I got to a point where I realized that it was more than just pictures that you would connect with. But, like in Hollywood, they always put together what's called
a reel.
It's a reel, but it's exactly it's a storyboard. And so just like like in a James Bond. Where does he wake up? What does he do? And you don't necessarily have to take the 13-hour flight that he does. You just come to the next place and the next place and the next place. And so it got to a point where I realized that if we're putting together, our best day, if we're storyboarding out where we're waking up, what we're doing for breakfast, these types of things, and we put them in a storyboard. And so when you came into my home, you saw those perfect days.
It was amazing. Together. It was absolutely incredible.
And we got to a point where you actually put music to it. You do several things so that you can involve as many senses as possible. Right. It's not just the sense of vision. And these are some of the things I want to get into as part of this segment. In the Autosuggestion, in the chapter there, it talks about these things that we're putting into our minds, and our bodies are nothing other than translations of vibrations. You look at every interface that we have around us. We've got our sight, we've got our ears that translates the vibrations of sound, light. We've got smell, okay?
Another vibration.
Yeah, another vibration. We have touch, okay? And what's that other? What's that fifth one? Henry, I'm going through the list and I'm trying to think of taste. Yeah. Taste. And so all of these things are centered, with the exception of touch, where we can feel different parts of our bodies. They're all centered around our head.
Our brain, right?
Our brain, okay? So if we are giving all of these different opportunities of interfacing with vibration, because sound is vibration, taste is vibration, smell is vibration, touch is vibration, our eyes are translating vibrations of light, you'd think that we would have some type of a translation that would tell us what's going on up here in our head. Okay? In the original manuscript of Think and Grow Rich, Jerry Hicks got a copy of that original manuscript, and they took out of the original manuscript the word vibration.
Oh, wow.
It appeared 37 times in Think and Grow Rich, and the publisher says people are not going to relate to that.
Oh.
They're not going to relate to it. Well, we interface with our world through vibration. Okay? So let me have you think about this just for a minute.
Interesting.
Okay? We know hot and cold. We know whether something smells good or it doesn't. We know whether something sounds good or it doesn't, like country music versus rock and roll. Just say no if you can smell the music.
Yes.
So, anyway, I'm having some fun here with you, but the point that I wanted to make is this. Our translations of vibrations as to what our thoughts are how do we feel about those thoughts?
The feeling, right?
That feeling. And so I often play a game with myself, what if? Okay? And I get in that space and I say, what if? And if I say, what if this happens, how does that feel? Or what if that happens, and how do I feel? So you can say, well, what if this, or what if that, and you go with the better feeling.
Interesting, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So I look around us, and I see so many opportunities where people are trying to shut down their feelings.
Yes.
Whether they're jumping into a bottle, or they're doing it through pills, or they're doing it through other types of relationships. We really need to get back to how does it feel. That sixth sense is how does it feel. And that's what we're trying to create. I go back to those vision boards and that autosuggestion. What is the best feeling? Does this feel better than that? Or does that feel better than this? And if you go with your feelings, you're going to be on track.
That makes a lot of sense.
And so imagine that. 37 times the word vibration was taken out of Think and Grow Rich.
Wow.
So do you think vibration is important? And how do we tell what we're thinking about? Well, how does it feel?
Absolutely.
So, feels pretty good to be
Absolutely.
here with you.
It is very powerful. Exactly. And then if anything is going on in your life where it doesn't make you feel good, you need to find ways to minimize or totally eliminate that from your life, right? It's like so many times people are in a toxic relationship.
But you don't want to push away from it.
No.
Because whatever you're feeling, you're attracting. If you're feeling like crap, you're going to get more crap into your life.
So change the way you feel.
And the easiest way to do that, it's called pivoting. And you pivot as you say, what if? And
what if?
What if this, or what if that? Or what about a better outcome?
Oh, wow.
And you start telling a better story. Those are what those vision boards are. You're telling a better story, and how does that feel? Okay? And I'll tell you what, if you take an action from a good feelings place, it's much better than taking an action from I feel like crap and I better do something about it. You're going to
attract the same thing, right? Wow.
So I really think it's important that we focus on vibrations as we're looking at that auto-suggestion. How does
very
it feel?
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah.
And you need to have the action, but
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to take that action from a place of lack, a place of, of worry.
So what would you say? Let's say somebody wants to take some action, but they feel afraid, right? So how do they change that? What should they do so that they feel good about
Have
it?
them tell a better story. So what is it that I'm going to go to work? I mean, if you're a pizza delivery guy, imagine the kind of tips that I'm going to have today.
Oh.
What if I get a call out to the that guy's place, or what if I get this? And
Wow.
it elevates your thoughts. See, because we don't have an indication other than what we're thinking about as to how we feel. Okay, so what are you thinking? Because think and grow rich.
Exactly.
Think and grow rich.
Yes.
But really, are you on the right path?
Exactly.
Are you really thinking and going towards something you want? Or are you thinking and trying to resist something that you don't want? Either way, because this is an attraction-based universe, you're going to attract both of those.
Absolutely.
So be thinking about that.
Absolutely. It is very powerful, and you sharing that just reminded me, there was a time I was going to go to a networking event, and I was feeling like, I don't feel like going, and I have to dress up, and I want to meet people I don't like, or whatever. So I had certain negative emotions that was stopping me from taking action, right? And nothing is going to happen if we don't take action. And then I said, you know what if I meet one person? I changed the story without even knowing. I said, what if I meet just one person that it made it worthwhile to go there? So I got dressed up, I went over there, and I had a great time. We're out of time for this particular segment. We'll be right back, just in a minute or so. So you hear that manifesting your dreams. And we want you to start thinking how you could tell a better story, how you can create that ideal day, how you can start feeling the way that is going to make you move forward so you can manifest your dreams. We'll be right back.